India, that is Bharat, works perfectly well for me. It's obviously disturbed the Prime Minister enough that he wants to change the name of the country.
हमारी योजना ऐसे नहीं होती। आपको लगता होगा कि लास्ट मोमेंट ऐसा कर दिया, लास्ट मोमेंट ऐसा कर दिया, ऐसा नहीं होता है।
ऐसा क्यों किया जा रहा है? इसलिए किया जा रहा है क्योंकि इंडिया नाम का कई सारी पार्टियों का एक अलायंस बना है जिसका नाम इंडिया है।
हमारे यहाँ विष्णु पुराण में कहा गया है,
No, India, that is Bharat. It is there in the constitution. Please, I would invite everybody to read it.
The controversy began when President Draupadi Murmu sent a dinner invitation to G20 leaders and chief ministers, and in this invitation, the president was referred to as President of Bharat, which was a shift from the usual President of India. But what is it supposed to be? And where did these names actually originate from? And ultimately, what does our constitution say about this? Let's take a look. The term Bharat can be traced back to the ancient literatures and the epic Mahabharata. Vishnu Purana describes Bharat as a land that is between sea in the south and Himalayan mountains in the north. And Bharata is also the name of the legendary king, who is the son of King Dushyanta and Shakuntala. And he is regarded as an ancestor of Pandavas and Kauravas, and also the ancestor of Bharata tribe, which finds its mention in Rig Veda. And thus it is believed that the people of the subcontinent are all descendants of the king Bharata. And when it comes to India, there's a misconception and people usually relate it with the British. But that's not where the term originated from. It is just that the British popularized the term by using it very often. So if you go back to the history, Hindustan is derived from the term Hindu, which was a Persian cognate of the Sanskrit word Sindhu, that is Sindhu river. And this term came into currency when Achaemenid Persians conquered Indus Valley, and this was during 6th century BC, which was the time of Lord Buddha. And when the Greeks acquired this knowledge of Hind from Achaemenids, they transliterated the word to Indus, and thus the name India is derived from the river Indus. And during 16th century under the Mughal rule, India was referred as Hindustan. But that changed during late 18th century when British increasingly started using the term India in their maps. Now what about our constitution? It uses both India as well as Bharat. Article 1 of the Indian Constitution reads, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. During Constituent Assembly debate in the year 1949, when this topic was taken up for the discussion, there were varied opinions. But after all of the debate, there was finally a compromise, and it was decided that the English version of the Constitution would mention India, that is Bharat, while the Hindi version would mention Bharat, Arthat India. In the year 2016, a public interest litigation was filed in Supreme Court, and it asked the court to direct the central government to use Bharat instead of India for all the purposes. And this PIL was rejected by the court. It said, Bharat or India, if you want to call it Bharat, go ahead. And if someone wants to call it India, let him call it India. The central government was also in opposition to the PIL. And in response, they said that there was no need to change the name since it was extensively deliberated upon by the Constituent Assembly. And some experts are also of the opinion that the name change wouldn't serve much purpose, as all the institutions already have Bharat in their Hindi version. Like for example, Reserve Bank of India is called Bharatiya Reserve Bank, whereas Indian Institute of Technology is called Bharatiya Pradyogik Sansthan in Hindi. So to conclude, we have two names for this country, Bharat as well as India. You can call it Bharat or you can call it India, both are correct. So can the government tomorrow say that we will use Bharat and not India for all the communication purpose? Yes, they can. And can the country be called Bharat alone? Yes, it can be. But can the name India be dropped or repealed from the constitution? For that, we need constitutional amendment under the Article 368.